Hi, welcome to Loki Has Cards. I am Loki, and I has cards. Today we're going to be looking at some packages that I've received. I have two boxed packages that I've received from eBay. One that came in an envelope. I no longer have the envelope itself, but I'm using one of my own as an example. And then one that I got from a whatnot seller who I purchased from before. I'm curious to see if he's changed how he ships things. I might also talk about how I've seen some other items packaged, some of the ways I've received some other things that weren't so great. And if these are good, I'll I'll go ahead and tell you like what I like about it, or if there's something I think that they could do better. Um, whether it's something that I do myself or that I've seen done, I will let you all know. So let's start with this one. Now, this was a fairly expensive card. I bought this card, it was about $150, which was actually less than it normally goes for. And you see here, it is Misty's Favor. And I got this card because I actually want to get it graded. So eBay is currently working with some partners to do an authenticity guarantee at no cost to the buyer. So that was pretty dope. I was able to get this and not have to worry about like, is this a scam? I mean, look at the art on the card is good. The way the hearts are, the winky face, like it's very like iconic Misty in my opinion. Obviously the outfit's a little different, but whatever. So it looks nice. You see how it's put in a team bag, right? And it has a card saver and a penny sleeve over it. So really good. And the fact that it's placed right in here where it's not going to be moving around a lot during shipment. That's really nice. Now, the thing with this is this wasn't the seller who packaged it like this. This card was sent from the seller to a individual who was going to authenticate the card, and then they packaged it and sent it. So I would say this is really good. I've also seen other videos where they've had the card and they, in a very similar like blue cardboard setup, they have a graded slab set inside of it. Now this one I have actually not opened yet, and this is a box. Should be Korean Pokemon cards. Terrestrial Festival, I think it is. Let's take a look. I want to be careful to not accidentally cut the box. So there we go. That's nice. So it's a very tight box, right? It doesn't have a lot of wiggle room. And then they even bubble wrapped it. It looks like they even threw in a extra, aw, for you. How sweet. Hope to see you again. That's nice. I like it when people do that, when they throw in like a little something extra. I've had someone who ordered like $300 worth of cards from me one time, and so I tossed in like a booster pack, and I can't remember if I tossed in 2 booster packs and like maybe a couple loose cards. So it was something like that. But yeah, when someone gives you business, it's nice to thank them. So that was good. That was a really nice sized box for this. Oh, look at that. Hello, your precious item has arrived. It's carefully packed and sent with care, but if you don't like the product or have a problem, please contact me. No refunds or returns for any reason once you open the product box. Please do not open the product and send me a message so I can help you. Now that's very important, because what some people might try to do if there's a like very loose return policy is they'll open it, see if there are any hits, and then after they find out that there's no hits, then they'll try and return it. So I understand why they would have that policy. If there are any, if there's any product you want from Korea, and are not in my shop, please send me a message. I will get it to you quickly at a good price. I hope your days will be filled with full happiness. Your review is a great help to me. Thank you for ordering Cozy Korea. So I'm comfortable saying who the seller is because this is packaged so nicely. This is from the seller, and it does look like it was packaged with care. So yeah, this was Cozy Korea on eBay, and I think they did a phenomenal job packaging this. The extra booster pack was a nice touch. And then here we have it, sealed box of Terrestrial Festival Pokemon cards. So we'll see how long this video goes. I might open this in this video. If not, then I'll have to do it in another one. But that was good. So far, our eBay sellers have been pretty good. Before we move on to our Whatnot seller, let's talk about this other eBay seller. Now, I don't remember their name, and I'm not going to, even if I remembered it, I wouldn't say, not because they did a bad job. This is very close to how I send things. So what they did was they sent it in an envelope. Now, theirs, I believe, was a smaller envelope, and there's no invoice. Kind of like how you've seen with these two other things. There's no invoice for this or for the Misty's Favor. So no invoice included. This is a 5 beginning door Pokemon cards. A little older, and I saw them and they were at a pretty good price, so I snagged them. And they put them in penny sleeves. So, and a couple of them are in a top loader, and then they're in this very tight-fitting team bag. And you can see that when I say tight fitting, like this thing is in there. So it's really good. And then I can slide this out because this was loose. And you still have this top loader that has the other cards in it. And the thing is, once you slide this in, even though these cards right here aren't inside the team bag or aren't inside the top loader, if you close that team bag nice and flush against the top of here, these cards aren't going to go anywhere. So it's not like they're going to get damaged or like messed up in shipment. And you can set them in a decent sized envelope and they'll be fine. What I usually do when I do mine is for all my orders, I print the invoice because I like you to have a reminder of like, hey, here's that thing you bought from me. I don't want there to be any doubt in my buyer's mind of what did I purchase from this guy? Because I don't know what their day-to-day is like. If they're like me and they have a lot of moving pieces going on, I've got stuff that I'm selling, I've got stuff that I'm buying, I got things that I want for my collection, things that I want for, gameplay purposes, and then a bunch of stuff that I'm letting go. So I don't know if they may get the package from me and be like, oh, did I order that? I hate to say it, but that has happened to me before, especially when I was younger. I would get boxes and I'd be like, I don't remember buying that. Okay. So I'd like to include the invoice, and when I do the invoice, I'll take the card and I'll get painter's tape and put it on each side and tape it to the invoice. And I'll fold the invoice so it fits pretty snugly against the sides of the envelope. So that way in shipment, even if the envelope does get jostled around, this card isn't going to be going and sliding against the sides of the envelope. It's going to be staying right in the center during shipment, and it's not going to have anything happen to it. If it's a card that for some reason I can't get fitted into a top loader, I'll get a couple pieces of cardboard and sandwich it and do the same thing and tape that to the invoice. And then usually I like to write a little handwritten thank you in the same vein as what that Cozy Korea did, just thanking people for ordering from me, because they don't have to. There's plenty of other people selling stuff, and anybody who takes time to look at my store and purchase from me, I'm grateful for. So there's that. All in all, I would say that my experience from eBay sellers has been pretty good. Now, Whatnot, so this is Zombie Cells, and I'm gonna say that because I have ordered from him before, and he usually does a really good job. One, I like his streams. I know that Whatnot sellers can kind of get a bad rap, and because of some of the videos I've seen, it's earned. Um, they definitely have earned the, like being called scammers and that kind of stuff. This guy he's really nice. He's friendly. His wife will help him run his streams sometimes. And like, they're just fun to listen to. He responds pretty well to people in the chat. And I've seen things go pretty cheap in his auctions, and he's always just like, oh man, hey, look at that, you got a deal, awesome. One time, I forget, I think it was for, oh sorry, that was loud. It was a first edition Shadowless Hitmonchan holofoil from the base set. And I think it sold for like $3 or $4. Like, nowhere near what it's actually worth. And he was just like, hey, good on you, man. Like, unfortunately, I wasn't the one who got it, because I was looking away from the screen at the time when I saw what he had auctioned off. I was like, no, I would have bought that. So he's usually pretty good. So here we see, like, this stuff is very tightly packed in here in a bubble mailer. He's got ding defenders on it, so that's a nice touch. He's wanting to make sure that the product arrives and is in good condition. So that is very appreciated. And then this is bubble wrapped. So inside a bubble mailer, inside ding defenders, bubble wrapped. And I got a few, like, lots of cards. Like, I got a bunch of stuff from him, because he was auctioning off like batches of cards for like starting at $1, and I think I got most of these at like $1 or $2. Like, not all of these, like, it wasn't like, oh, $1, $1, $1. It was like, this was $1, and then like that much was $1, and then that much was $1, and then that much was $1, and then that was $1. So it was like $5 for like this whole batch of stuff that I have in my hand. And honestly, some of it was just because, like, the Cosmos Hollows, the Vs, the EXs, I was just interested in those, and he was throwing in these other cards in addition to that. And I was like, yeah, I'll buy that for $1 and that for $1 if you're going to throw in all this other stuff. That's nice. So this is really good. In fact, I would even say this is, when he'd sent cards to me before, it was very similar to like this. I think I actually got this card from him. So it was like this, and then it had the Pikachu inside the penny sleeve, inside the card saver, and I think it was just in an envelope, which, again, nothing wrong with that. And the card arrived safe, good condition, not complaining. And it was either that card or it was one along the same lines as that, like packaging wise. And I thought it was good, but no, here he's even gone, in my opinion, above and beyond as far as like using the ding defenders. And now part of that probably is because, like, that's a thick stack of stuff, and he just wants to make sure it gets to the customer well, and I appreciate that. So I would say Zombie Cells on Whatnot is probably one of the good ones. If you were ever thinking of looking at a Whatnot seller, he's one that I would recommend, because he seems like a fair guy. I have had some, so it wasn't from Zombie. I can't remember who it was, but they had sent me cards it was in a bubble mailer like this, and there was no penny sleeve, there was no card saver. There was nothing. No, like, paper surrounding the card. It was 2 reverse hollow foil cards just put in there. And sent like that. And it was insane to me because I saw that and I was like, I would not send a card like that, sir. I mean, I would at least think you would throw a penny sleeve on that. Now, the cards arrived in good enough condition, so it's not like I filed a complaint or anything. If they had arrived damaged, that would have been another thing. But it was just crazy to me that that individual would do that. But you can't make people do things the way that you think that they should be done. So all in all, I would say that that was really good. I've had really good luck with sellers, and in that light, I try to do the same thing as a seller for my buyers. When people buy from me, I try to package things in a way that when it arrives, when they open it, they can have confidence that what's on the inside is not ruined. Depending on what people get, you keep bubble mailers on hand just in case. Because what if they order something big or something that's particularly valuable, and you really want to make sure that if you're sending a $200-300 card, that thing is packaged securely and taken care of, and then nothing's going to happen to it. So other than like the 1 or 2 instances where I've had somebody send me cards and I was just like, ooh, really? You packaged it like that, you brave soul? Okay. But thankfully, even in those instances, nothing has really happened to those cards. So I can't complain. It's been nice. With that said, I'm not going to open this. I may not even open this on camera because honestly, I got it for me. But maybe I will. We'll see. I will go ahead and open this on camera, though. So let me make sure that this is all nice and low in there. And we'll see what's inside this. Okay, make sure I got them all. All right. Okay. We have our Slack Off. Oh, I can't remember his name. I know he's from Scarlet and Violet, and he was one of the ones that I looked at, and I was like, that thing looks weird as heck. I think it starts with an S. And honestly, it just bothered me, so I never used it. Scent Scorch, Magneton, and a Tapu Koko. I like the way that looks. That's nice. So that's just fun. That was a fun little bonus to my purchase. Thank you, Cozy Korea, for that. Let's see, because there were only a couple of cards that I saw when Zombie was running his sale that I was like, okay, I want that, but I didn't pay attention to every little thing he was holding. So let's see, I got a Lapras, Cosmium, Fluttermane, Cosmos Hollow, Aerodactyl V, Ninetales, Vulpix, Ursaring, Blood Moon Ursaring, Sinistra, Cosmos Hollow, Teal Mask, Ogerpon, Cosmos Hollow, Fluttermane again, Cosmos Hollow, Greedent, Scovit. Oh, I remember why he did that. It was a bunch of different arts for the Scovit, and so he wanted those to go together. Ninetales EX, a Reverse Hollow Ninetales, Reverse Hollow Vulpix, Litwick, Swirlix, Machop, Hisuian Arcanine, Eevee. I love Eevee. Cast form, Scyther. Looks like a Japanese Seedant, I think is his name. Japanese Scyther, Reverse Hollow Froakie, Reverse Hollow Clefable, Reverse Hollow Monferno, a Pokemon Go Charmeleon, Salamence EX. This looks like a Korean, oh gosh, what is your name? It's like, it makes me think of Galapagos, but I know it's not Galapagos. It starts with a T. Terragopus or something like that. Mama Swine EX, Lycanroc. That's not dusk form. Night form. There's like day, night, and dusk. Rockruff Reverse Hollow, Fido Reverse Hollow. Dachshund. I love Dachshund and his little fluffy butt. Lapras Reverse Hollow. Again, like this kind of where you can see under the water, and then how this gives that water such a nice like fluid feel. That's really good. And how you can see the light hitting the water, and then how it marks on Lapras's, what is it, fins, I guess. It's just really good. Lapras, Reverse Hollow, Mr. Mime, Galarian Mr. Mime, Galarian Mr. Mime, Mr. Mime, Reverse Hollow, Gengar, Ghastly, Haunter, Flame Hearth Mask, Ogerpon EX, Wartortle, yes. Oh, God, I love Squirtle, Wartortle, and Blastoise in Pokemon Go. That's also, like, this just looks like fun art. Like, he's jumping into the water and he's going to have a blast. All right, another Pokemon Go. Charmeleon. Oh, that looks nice. Hisuian Arcanine. I'm so sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong. Sableye Reverse Hollow. Clefairy. Marowak. Looks like Korean Dunsparce. Reverse Hollow Diancie. Another Blood Moon Ursaluna. I might have called her Ursaring earlier. Whoops. If I did, my bad. Reverse Hollow Toedscool, Reverse Hollow Toedscruel, or regular Toedscool and a Reverse Hollow Toedscruel. Victini V, nice. Arcanine, Growlithe, another Hisuian Arcanine, another Hisuian Arcanine, another Hisuian Arcanine. So, I mean, for $5, not a terrible haul. Pretty happy with it, and the fact that it took me that long to go through the list of what I got. Yeah. So there you go. That said, look carefully at the products you're buying. If you are going to be buying stuff online, always like go through all the pictures. Whenever I'm like buying a card, like when I bought these, they had posted, I was comfortable buying, it's 5 cards, and they had all 5 of them laid out, and they had a picture of the front and they had a picture of the back, and it looked solid. I know some people don't always do a picture of the back, depending on the purpose you're buying it for. If they don't post a picture of the back, it's not a big deal. Like if you're buying it to just be a binder card and they don't have it like set too high, then that's fine. But if you're buying something specifically with the intent of getting it graded, then make sure that they have a front and back picture of it. Yeah, there you go. That is all I have. I appreciate if you watch this far. And that's all I got. You have a good one. God bless you, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.